want to welcome in now Frank Corellia, someone I found on social media maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. And what drove me to your content was just the in-depth storytelling. You find hidden gems with former players, current players, guys who didn't make it, interesting stories just all around sports, and really do a deep dive into them, but you do it in a little compact package in just a few minutes.
What if I told you it takes just 1 minute to prove why Michael Jordan is the GOAT? See, in NBA history, only one guy ever has averaged 40 points per game in multiple playoff series. It was Jordan, and the last time anyone else even did it once was Rick Barry in 1967. Also, only 4 times in NBA history has someone won the scoring title, MVP, the finals MVP, and was first team All-NBA and All-Defense in the same season. Every single time, it was Mike.
And I remember reaching out to you saying, bro, I don't have a company yet. I'm going to build a company. But once I do build a company, I want to work with you. And shit, All the Smoke Productions is here now. And we have the ball rolling. So, Frank, first of all, welcome and thank you for your time. And where did that passion for these stories and your storytelling ability come from?
So yeah, thanks guys so much for having me. All of this started back in early 2020 when I was a sophomore at Seton Hall. I got into collecting sports cards, didn't know anything about the space. And now as I was learning, I saw no content. It was hard for me to find information. So I said, screw it. I'm going to be the one that makes the content. So I started daily newsletters, started making videos on just market trends. Some cards are going up in price, down in price. But as I went through that journey of collecting, I realized how many rich stories there are in the space of why is this baseball card worth $1 million? Right? There's collectors out there that have put together $50 million collections. How did they find these cards? So built a whole business out of it with Trove. And now we work with all the top collectors, all the top auction houses to bring these items truly to life. And by doing that over the last 4 or 5 years, for fun, I was like, you know what? I love sports stories too, right? Obviously, sports is my primary passion. So just for fun, on all old NBA players I love. What happened to this guy? How did this guy make the league? All these people have such incredible journeys. And it's just fun. I just try to make cool, short videos that people want to share with their buddies. And hopefully you learn something new in 60, 90 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, that's what drove me to you. I mean, I went down a rabbit hole on your page one day. I was like, yo, this dude is dope. But I heard just so many different crazy stories. I'm just like, we got to do something together. We actually sat down with Uncle Luke not too long ago, and Uncle Luke, aside from, you know, being the leader of Two Live Crew and all the cool shit he did with that, he was NIL before NIL. And they used to have a bounty program over at Miami. He would take care of the guys here and there. So we tasked Frank to do a deep dive with this story. And Frank went in with his hard hat and did some research. So tell us a little bit about what, without giving it away, tell us a little bit about what you found and how fun was the story for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, we're going to be dropping a longer video on this, going into the full story, but just short. In the 80s, Miami football was the greatest dynasty in college football history, right? Their coach that came, Coach Schnellenberger, came in 1979, and he completely changed the program. And he said, Miami, all we have to do to dominate is if we just get all the top recruits in South Florida, don't worry about recruiting anywhere else. We get all these guys, we will be great. And from 83 to 91, won 4 national championships. So Uncle Luke was biggest Miami football fan, and he wanted to help the guys out because they were getting no money back then. Players in the 80s, you would get $30 to feed yourself and go out on the weekends, which isn't possible if you're a 300-pound star football player at Miami going out nightlife, right? So he would look out for them. So what they had was this pay for big play bounty program where, let's just say you get a sack, you make $100. You get a big touchdown, $500. And every week they had a big play jar where whoever has the biggest hit that week gets all the money. So maybe it's $1,500. Whoever knocks out the quarterback, you get the $1,500. But the thing was, you had to win the game. If Miami didn't win the game, nobody gets paid.
And that money. I like it.
That may be a reason why Miami from 85 to 94 won 58 consecutive home games. They didn't lose. They want to get paid.
That's nuts. Hey, I love that. Well, Frank, thank you, man. Along with obviously this story, we're going to be collabing on much more, you bringing more stories to life about the collectible space. So, Frank, before we get you out of here, tell everyone where they can find you. Obviously, Trove is your mothership. So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, so for collectibles content, it's Find Your Trove on all platforms. And for my personal handle, it's Frank Relia.
Well, sounds good, Frank. Definitely looking forward to work with you. Thank you for your time today, bro, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.